Hey guys, well, we started grazing this sorghum Sudan we planted out here. Now this was a crop field last year. We rotated it into a grazing field for a year. We didn't get a great stand of sorghum Sudan out here. We had a lot of rain after it was planted and kind of drowned some of it out, but they'll eat a lot of those weeds. And well, a lot of seed was left over from last year. We did buy a little bit. So we're using a smart fence here to graze this off. There's the paddock they're in now. They're up there under the shade trees. It's middle of the afternoon right now. But as you can see, that side looked just like this side. And so they're hitting that, and we'll move them again in the morning. They've been on that. It'll be 2 days tomorrow. In those 2 days this evening, I guess, but then they'll come over to this one, as you can see there. So the smart fence works really well for this kind of a deal. It's really worked well for us anyway. So now this is the water system we're using here, because we got our other trailers with the water totes on them up at another place there with the sheep. And this is a spray tank. We use it to haul water to spray chemicals around on our grain crops. But we're not using it for a while now, and we can use it for this application to water these sheep and goats out of. So we got this quick coupler, and it hooks into here, and it's adapted down to a water hose. And the water hose comes out here, and just like the other water system, we just have a cut-off tank. It's probably like maybe a third of a 55-gallon plastic drum with the valve there coming inside. And that's about all it takes. They'll just come up in a smaller paddock like this and come up, 1 or 2 or 3 at a time and drink down, just so it'll fill fast enough, and that it will here. And this forage has a lot of moisture in it. Now, it is really hot out, so they'll go through more water than what they would have a few weeks ago, but yeah, that'll work for them. And he's got the smart fence hot. Luke said it was running 5,000 volts up here. So we don't have much trouble with them as long as it's hot. And as long as they don't run out of feed. So you can see here, well, there's some buckwheat right there. Got that little flower on it. Brown midrib sorghum Sudan. You can see that brown midrib. It's more digestible than your common sorghum Sudan. Less fiber. And there's some, I think, German millet. There's a couple different kinds of millet seed we just had around. We threw in there. Of course, you got pigweeds out here. There's some soybeans. We threw some soybean seed in there we had left over from something. Might be some corn seed in there. Here, we'll look through here. Ragweed, they like that, of course. The problem with just letting it grow up in weeds and letting them graze it, and we thought about that, there's just not as much tonnage, because see that foxtail with the head on it right there? They just don't eat that. They don't like it. I don't know any animal that really eats much of it. Cattle don't eat it. Well, there's a lot of that in here. And then we'll graze this down, and then we'll come back and drill our oats and turnips and radishes for fall that we turn them out on to grow the kids and lambs on for the sales. Remember? Did that last year, and that works really well. As long as you get some rain, get it up and growing, it'll really take off. And they really gain on that. That stuff is probably close to 20%, maybe more protein. I was always going to check it, and I never did. I may check this. I may grab some samples of this and send it off. Oh, probably, I don't know which lab I'll go with, but it's always kind of interesting to see what they eat. And if you send samples off, well, take samples like you are an animal eating it, you know. Go out there and look what they eat and where they've already ate, and then come in here and try to pick some of that same stuff. Which, you know, they've eaten the sorghum Sudan out of that out there. You don't see it standing up. But the foxtail they haven't ate, so don't take samples of that, see. You know what I mean. And so I may do that, and I'll let you know what we got here. But there's some more of that buckwheat. It's supposed to kind of mine phosphorus up out deep in the soil and bring it more up to the top. We need that. So, and here's, I don't know, might have been some cowpeas or sunflower, or not sunflower, soybeans. There's soybeans. These little weeds, I think that's prickly seta. They kind of eat it. They top it off. There's pigweed. So, there's some more. But that's, the smart fence was made for this.